So,
Okay.
Julie, how did you get into yoga practice and teaching yoga?
I learned yoga when I was about 17 years old. I went to an integral yoga practice in Manhattan with a good friend, and I did yoga. I was hooked ever since that time, and I did yoga regularly. And um, there was a time when I was in my 30s that I stopped menstruating, and I thought there was an early menopause, and went to the doctors, and everything was fine. They said I was stressed out, and I was like, I'm not stressed out, and screaming at the doctor. And my husband said, why don't we just go for a walk and do some yoga? You haven't been doing your yoga. And as soon as I did my yoga, my period came back
Hmm.
within hours, and that was my answer, that I have to do yoga. That's my call. So I started doing yoga. I decided to get certified. I was then teaching in Sing Sing Prison, a parenting certificate program, and I was started a meditation program, and the men wanted to do hatha yoga with me. And it was a very clandestine operation to do yoga, a female in a male maximum security prison, but we were doing it. And at one of my graduations for the parenting certificate, the warden said, and now we have yoga in the prison. So I knew I was out of the dark and I was safe doing yoga in Sing Sing prison. I started teaching classes outside my work in health clubs in Westchester County, and I was always rushing to my classes, trying to make everything as peaceful for the students when they come in, and I had to get myself ready in a fraction of a second. And I realized that yoga was the thing that was most important thing to me, because I was doing a lot of counseling, and people would listen to my advice based on their respect for me, and they would try it out for a while, but they'd always fall back into um, their own practices, their own ways, their own behaviors, and they'd always feel that they weren't successful, and I also felt I wasn't successful. But when I taught a person yoga, they were able to resolve their own issues down to the core, and they begin to recreate themselves in the way that they needed to, the most basic way, and develop into the most if they stay with their practice, they could go as far as they needed to go, and no words were ever necessary, just creating a safe environment for them to explore their spirituality, who they were, and giving them the space to breathe in a peaceful, safe way. That was all that was necessary. And learning other esoteric practices, which I study in India, but yoga is the best healer to me for emotional, physical, all everything, and it's the real answer for me.
Thank you.
Welcome. Namaste.